evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Wow. Tonight is going to be amazing. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Knowledge delivers. It takes understanding to stand. It takes understanding to be outstanding. The day I stumbled on a scripture that says, my people are destroyed because they lack knowledge. I jumped from my study and I told myself, never will I be an ignoramus. Never would I live a life struggling, battling, looking for an oxygen, and I don't know what is going on. I must know what is going on. And sincerely, I don't get to know for me. I get to know for me. I don't get to know for people. So that's why anytime I'm talking, I'm belching, I'm just sharing, because some of the things I'm talking about are the things that I have to apply to my life because of where I was coming from. If you are not careful, you don't learn how to garbage in and garbage out. Honestly speaking, thank you, good evening. Honestly speaking, before you know it, you are living another person's script. You are living a life you are not seeing in your dreams and your vision. You are living a life that is not yours. And it's, I was telling one of my children, I said, guess what? I'm not afraid to die, honestly. I'm not afraid to die. The only thing that scares me to my bone and my marrow is not fulfilling potentials, dying with treasure on the inside of me. I need to die empty. That grave must be empty. So whatever I'm doing, I'm maximizing my potentials. I'm putting energy because I know it is appointed for a man to die. And after death is judgment. And I don't want to stand before the judgment seat of Christ and be told that you have so much. Where is the radio station? Where is the television station? Where is the rehab? Where is the thing where are the things I told you to do? And I'm not running my race, trying to live another person's script. I'm living my race, I'm living my life, I'm running my race, living my own script, what is imprinted in my soul. Because I have a lot of people out there that the only thing you do is to look at what the Jones and the Joneses are doing, and a mob has no identity. A mob has no identity. I'm taking you somewhere, I'm taking this journey. A mob has no identity. Before you know it, you're going to lose your color, you're going to lose your fragrance, you're going to lose your uniqueness, you're going to lose what makes you to be extraordinary. Why? Because you're trying to live somebody else's script, which is not going to make you fulfill. You can't even be fulfilled living another person's script, because anything you are given to do by your creator, what happens is there's a dimension of grace that makes you to become a wonder to everyone around you. That's the truth. That's where grace is available. If you are doing something and you are not wired to do it, you are not called to do it, that's not your assignment, that's not your mandate, that's not what you are wired to do, and you're just trying to just join them and be with them, and I don't know if you have been there, but I have been there. And I'm going to tell you why today. That's why we're here. Is it toxic or not toxic? We're going to be looking at parenting that are toxic. Toxic parenting. Yay, I have a good news for you. I met one of my colleagues today, and he's a professor. Wow, I'm bringing him on Wednesday next week for is it toxic or not toxic? And we are dissecting, we are shredding some dangerous personality disorder called the narcissist. He's a lecturer in the University of Ibadan. I mean, he's versatile. I'm going to bring him up. I've told him we are going to tackle narcissism, personality disorder, because things happened by parenting, and we were discussing, and we were just saying some things, and I told him, I said, do you know that every child that becomes whatever today is based, or the foundation is parenting. Every child comes to the world blank. It is what to play to their lives, they play back to their world. So it's an abomination, or it's error trying to raise children. You know, I'm raising teenagers, I'm raising children, and you are not focusing on the parents. It's a waste of time, waste of resources, and waste of energy. Okay, a child goes to the Sunday school, goes to, you know, church, and the father, you know, the teacher with the word says, don't watch pornography, watch what you see, your eye is the window to your soul. And those things were said, which the child begins to think about and consider. Yes, I'm still going to have another big fish show. Prophet said he's coming to join me in one of the episodes, so I can't wait to have him. I'm going to trust God. You know, he's a prophet, he's not a normal person. I'm going to trust God that he will come and join me in talking about you know, being sex-wise as parenting, as it were. I will let you know. Just wait. I can't wait to have him, actually. Parenting, how we're raised. You have told your teenage, as a teenage teacher, children's teacher, you have told your pupil, your children, don't do this, don't watch pornography, don't be rude, don't be angry anyhow. And you know, you actually went all the way to discuss with them on what anger is all about. But anytime they get home, I'm coming back to pornography, you throw tantrums, you shout, you yell, you react, and those children are wondering, Mom, the teacher said we should not shout. He told us to be nice and be decent. Learn your courtesy. Please, sorry, thank you. All those golden words they were taught. But coming home, your lifestyle as parents becomes a paradox. It becomes a question and a puzzle in the heart of that child. And guess what? The child will not be able to say anything. So we must understand the dynamics of parenting that are toxic. And I'm grateful that Prophet is coming to do some things in the light of dynamic parenting. You can't afford to take things with levity. Don't confuse your children, basically. Now, the children's teacher have said, don't, you know, chastity, no sex before marriage. And suddenly, your child opens your laptop and saw porn. The picture. And you know, the way the brain is wired, the brain is wired in a way that anything, whether positive or negative, that suits the brain or brings pain to the brain, sticks there. And when your kids are stuck, they are stuck. Now, what is the essence of, you know, going to Sunday school, going to be taught by, you know, your children's teacher, you know, the rudiments of faith, the gospel, that, you know, you have to be a child of God, you must grow in God, you must pray, read your Bible, pray every day. And your daughter, your son saw that. He can't pray because when you are struggling with any form of addiction, now, how do I mean? The moment your child gets into that place of stumbling at pornography picture or seeing rage and anger in the home, it confuses them. It becomes a paradox. They can't explain, they can't figure it out. And they are not privileged. I'm going to be talking today about toxic parenting. They are not privileged to ask questions, confront you, probe you, pry into you. It becomes a taboo. So they normally keeps it on the inside of them, keeping it there. Now they get out there and friends begins to expose them to the answers to those questions without making a statement. I hope somebody is getting me. Listen to what I'm saying. Your kids, I'm talking about toxic parenting here, and I took you from the legacy, the teachings, the things you have given to your children as, you know, values, you know, and your lifestyle becomes a paradox, a confusion to them. And they're wondering, Mom, they can't even talk because it's a dirty slap or one, you know, shame that will come after any form of confrontation. If a child is now a strong-willed child, is another topic for another day. Now, when things like this happen to a child, listen to me. That is why parenting is more important. Understanding how to live a life that is transparent, that is open, it is more important than spirituality in quotes. You need to understand what I deal with on a daily basis. You will understand the passion and the pain and the enthusiasm of talking like this. Now, when your kid goes out, now don't forget, you have counter, you have contradict whatever you have said, that they have said in church, they have said in your various, places where you teach your kids morals. Let me put it that way. They are confused. Now, when they can't ask you questions because you are not showing them the proper legacy, one. Number two, when they are going to be answering or solving that equations in their minds, solving the issue of why the rage, why the anger, why pornography, why would mommy be crying all the time, why would daddy do this to mom, those questions are not going to be answered by anybody. They will now mix with their friends. That's where the challenge is. They will now mix with their friends. When they have a relationship with their friends, those friends will not be answering those questions without saying anything. How do I mean? They answer those questions with, you know what? We have a clique, we have a gang. There are people that we have to show. We have to reply some people. I'm thinking of cultism. And I've seen parents shed hot tears coming to me and say, save my child. Help my child. How did we get here? I'm a pastor. I'm a woman of God. I'm a man of God. I'm a senator. I'm an achiever. I'm a doctor. Why? How? The answer is simple. Very simple. If you are a parent that is not dynamic enough to understand the trends and the things that is going on, you are just trying to be, you over spiritualize everything, you cover everything under the garment of, I'm your father, I'm your mother, you must listen to me, you must do this and that. And those kids cannot confront you. They can't say, Mom, why are you doing that to daddy? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that to yourself? Why are you shouting at daddy? Why are you not being nice to my daddy? Mom, dad, why are you shouting down at my mom? What? They won't ask. They can't ask you. Forget it. They won't ask you such questions. It is their friends that will answer those questions by pushing them into cultism. Please note that. Pushing them into lesbianism, homosexuality, whatever it is, that makes them feel better and feel good about those questions that are not answered. I hope somebody is getting my heart. We're talking about toxic parenting. You need to understand that toxic parenting, their parent or a toxic parent, a parent that does not have understanding at all. I don't know how I'm going to put this. If you lose your children, you have lost in life. Forget it. Your health is your relationship with your spouse. Your wealth is your relationship with your spouse. Your happiness is your relationship with your spouse. The happiness of your children is your relationship with your spouse. You won't feel it now. I'm hustling, I'm busy, I'm doing everything. I want to send them abroad. I want to create a class for them. I want to do everything, but lo and behold, you are not creating anything. A child that his or emotional needs are not met is a time bomb. It's an accident that is about to happen. A child yesterday is an adult tomorrow. So whatever you see out there, now let me say something here. I just dropped in my heart. I've seen some gifted musicians that are into drugs. I won't mention names specifically, but I see them on social media. Gifted, dynamic, but they're on drugs. They actually smoke. They take all those drugs to hype themselves for the show. But the point is, they came to this world with the potentials they have, the giftings they have. They brought it. Must it be tilted towards drugs to hype and bring their gifting to the public? No. Parenting determines everything. Look at the world today. I'm pushing you to understand something, and I'm so emotional about it, because I know there's no mother, there's no father that is struggling today. You are doing it for your children. You want to give them a better future, a better tomorrow. You want to make them to become your pride in the future. But listen to me. If you are not sensitive to some of the things I'll be talking about tonight, we're going to lose them. We're going to lose them. Myself and the professor that we're talking today, we're talking about personality disorders. And I told him, I said, everything stems from the home. How a child is raised. Some men, some women became toxic today because of how their parents raised them. Let me give you a practical example. You are a child that is strong-willed, and those are the things I'll be sharing with us as we resume dynamic parenting webinar. It's a Zoom. There's no limit to wherever you can. I had to change the date because of elections and all of that, and I really want it to be well structured so you can register. The first 100 people, they are gone, so we are going back to the normal price of the courses. We are done with that. Now, I'm bringing this to you because at the end of the day, after the sweat, the labor, the pressure, risk taking, having to go and take a loan, all sorts. At the end of the day, the child is now lost to drugs, teenage pregnancy. How do you think it will sound? I have been privileged to meet women that they have actually lost it. There's a mother, she kept calling me, I want prophet to pray for my son. I will call the body, say, oh, shut up, stupid, which God? This guy is 52. He's been on cannabis for the past 10 years. His brain is gone. And this is a boy that is from a wealthy home. Can I say this to everyone, especially you parents? I don't care how much you have in your account. I don't care how much you use to make your child have a class. You know what I mean? You remember recently, sometimes last year, a particular girl went to Dubai for an excursion or something, and they engaged in proper pornographic sexual activities that went viral. And when the mother was talking on the social media and she was saying, my daughter, even the way she apologized, I don't judge people. There's always a reason. In this profession, we are not permitted to judge, because there's always a reason for a reason. There's no cause without a cause. There's no reason without a reason. But what I'm saying is, as far as that woman is concerned, she had, put her best into whatever she's doing. My child goes to the cream de la cream school. We have a class. They're even going for an excursion. Others are entering economy. I'm going to buy, a business class. When your child is an emotional wreck, how do we figure that out? How do we handle that? How do we fix that puzzle? It's an emotional wreck, because in raising them, you are toxic. Let me tell you something. When you start raising your kids in this manner of from toilets, training to adolescents, you are making them to be rebellious against you. Mom, why? Mom, this, mom, that. Because you are, oh my God. And the professor coming on Tuesday, I'm going to divert a little bit into some parents that have personality disorder. Listen to me. Most of our marital crises, it's based on personality disorder, and nobody is talking about it. Especially the type of personality that you want to dot the I's, cross the T's. If you have a visitor, I've been there, I've handled such a case before. I've experienced that before. Let me quickly share that experience. No man can stay with that kind of a woman, forget it. I went to preach years back, about 30 years ago, in a church in Lagos. Normally, I don't stay in people's house when I go to preach. You definitely give us, accommodation in the hotel and all of that. But this one was so nice. She's a naval officer. No, is it Navy or maybe custom officer or something? I can't remember now. She just said, woman of God, you and your team, you have to come to my house, blah, blah, blah. So we chose to spend a night in the house because she was really nice. And she has beautiful flowers. If you get to her house, everything is set. If I don't finish it now, I'll finish it some other time. I'm not rushing anywhere. You need to understand what I'm trying to say. Beautifully arranged flowers. I'm telling you, at her corridor. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. The way the flowers are set. The woman, she's so intentional about everything. If you cross a particular path where our flowers are planted, you will see her reacting. Don't step. It's like you are stepping on the baby's head or a child's head. I'm not exaggerating. She has this personality that must be perfected. I don't want to be using psychotherapy jargons because some of you don't even know, so there's no point. I don't want to confuse you. She has a personality that has to do with everything must be in total. You come back from work, before COVID, you must wash your hand. You are washing, you are cooking, the plate must be clean. I'm taking you somewhere. Toxic parenting. You had a visitor, some crumbs of cakes falls on the floor. The visitor must take a broom and sweep that place. I'll tell you I'm sharing my experience with you, with a human being who has gotten to the peak of her career, but no husband, there's no child in that house. The house help, the maids, they are working under tension. You could see in their countenances that the cook, she has a chef, of course, who have to be paid. She had, pardon me, she had a chef, she had a steward, she had people working with her, but man, you could see that they are tensed up. So I remember I just went to the balcony and I was going back into the living room and I did not shut the door. She shouted at me, "Shut my door." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am." That was the night I left. The following night, I was not, as a woman of God, the standard must be there. So I didn't show my act of, the attitude that she put. I didn't react. I didn't show my act of not being comfortable with that attitude. I just said, "Sorry, madam." And I just knew that, there's no man, there's no child. If you have a child in that house, that child is trusting for the day the child will leave that house and never return. Do you know, true story, I don't like to mention names, but when she died about 15 or 18 years ago, She was dead in that house. I'm telling you, parents now that are toxic. She was dead in that house for like 5 days. Nobody knew she was dead. By the time they discovered that they didn't see her, I don't think she's a whole custom officer. It's either Navy or a custom officer, but she's in the military. At the end of the day, they brought her corpse out after 5 days. Now, you want to blame her? No, it is her personality. And that's why I insist on people dealing with yourself. Now, looking at that, you'll be wondering, so why is she like that? She wasn't like that as she came from heaven. She was like that because of the way she was being raised. It's by parenting. Her parents or her dad or mom must have been a kind of a person that will never allow for error or mistakes. Excuse me, to err is human. That's why your child is waiting for the day she will confront you. And we are living in a system that, a culture, a tradition that reinforces abuse. That makes your child to be helpless. Honor your father, your mother, so that your days will be long. I'm not saying you should not honor your father, your mother. But do you know something I've discovered in raising children? Respect is reciprocal. If you honor your children, don't say, they are my children, why would I honor them? You are living in 22, I don't know the century. You are not alive. You can't say that. You can't say that. That is my son, is my daughter. The moment a child is being taken for granted on a consistent basis is a matter of time. Now, how do I mean? When your child says, Mom, why now? Mom, what now? Please, the next thing is for you to shut up and keep quiet and watch and calm down. Now, I'm not saying you should allow rebellion. Please get me right. If you have a question, you can ask me. I'm not saying you should breed a rebel. What I'm saying is, it means that you've taken things overboard. You have stepped out of your boundaries. There's something we call boundaries in relationship. You've done something that will make that child, that is making that child to say, no, this is too much. I can't take it anymore. Because children are not the same. I can't wait to have you to join me in Dynamic Parenting Webinar. The best gift you can give to your life and your future and your destiny and everything that has to do with your tomorrow. Everybody's tomorrow starts today. There's nothing like tomorrow. Is to get into that class and take all you can and can all you take, to open the can when you can. Do you know that your child, if you're a toxic parent, do you know that your child will never open up to you? How do I mean? When your child is struggling with anything, he can't tell you because the child cannot predict you. And everyone, after the fall, shame was the next thing. Adam said, I heard your voice, I was ashamed. People have to be able to be vulnerable and be open to people that will not shame them. And you know how many times you have shamed your children? Because you don't understand the dynamics of respect, honor for your kids. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's a short one, but I'm sure a word is enough for the wise. Please stop using spirituality, honor your father and your mother, so that your days will be long. Let me quickly drop this because it's dropping in my heart. When a child is raised by a toxic parent, you are killing the self-esteem of that child. And really listen to me, we relate to our world with our worth. If somebody can write it, I don't mind. We relate to our world with our worth. Thank you. We relate to our world with our worth. What brought me to this place today was because I had to deal with rejection, low self-esteem, being abandoned, good evening, not being loved. I've been sharing my stories, my story, my reality. I was menstruating. I started menstruating. Let me share a little bit with you tonight. When I was in class 3, I got pregnant. You must have heard my story. The doctor said I can never be pregnant again and all of that. True. My story, my reality. Oh, I'm bringing that to this, whatever it is. It's all about parenting. And my mother owns a beer parlor, where I was raised. So I was raised in a beer parlor. And I remember that there's a particular guy that used to help my mom to pack, her bottles of, drink to the store, to the storage. And most of the time, this guy would sexually molest me. And I couldn't open my mouth to tell my mother. I can't blame her. She's going through her own. Listen to me. I can't be dynamic enough in training you to how to raise your children in this life. And don't forget, I'm 60 this year. You need to know. Look at what was going to be happening in our generation now. Maybe you never sat down to think of what's going on now. We are living in a day. I told you maybe yesterday or thereabout. I went to shop. I went to buy something, and I did a transfer. And a less than 1 year old child was holding a phone, and the mother wanted to be sure that she has received the alert, from the phone, and took the phone from that baby, and the baby went wild. I mean, I was shocked. So that child has been raised to fix her life with the phone, maybe cartoon or something. So cartoons are the one teaching your children character and manners, and you know how whites raise their kids. You think you are trying to be sophisticated, and you are trying to be exposed to the other world. You are joking. You are joking. You are joking. And your kids slips off your hand just like that. Most parents asked me questions with tears. How did I get it? What really happened? Ma, tell me what happened. And I'll just let them know that it's just one carelessness, one nonchalant attitude, one inability to be sensitive, insensitivity, carelessness, just assuming that she's a child. Who told you? In this wild age, a child, forget it. Hey, you need to, I'm remembering some of the things people share with me on my program, and it's kind of, it's scary. It's scary. It scares me. Children that are from the age of 10, 15, 12, active in sex with their siblings because the mother is busy. Incest in your home in the name of business, in the name of I have to hustle. You are not an eagle. You are not seeing anything. You have not opened your mouth one day to tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Is it tomorrow we are doing being sex-wise as parents? Please, please, please. The best gift you can give to your children is for them to have a worth. If you're a toxic father or a toxic mother, you will crush those children's self-esteem, and they will play it back to you. They will make wrong choices because of the way you are beating them. Now, these are strong-willed children that it is the same personality that will make them great and become doctors, bankers, lawyers, and activists, celebrities. It's the same strength. But because you are not smart enough to know that children are not the same, I'm still using this medium to invite you. We are resuming on the 25th of March, 2023. Dynamic parenting webinar. The best gift you can give to yourself is to prepare for your rest in your old age. Once again, thank you so much for being part of this program this evening. Thank you for following. Maybe I'm sure you have missed. You can always go back to the video. It's going to be saved for you to listen over and over again. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please be intentional when you are raising your children. Be sensitive. Be intentional. Be dynamic. use all your brain. You have to be on your toes to be able to raise your kids very well. Don't destroy their worth. I remember my second son, he stammers. He's a naval officer today. He came home one day, I think I've said it in one of the platforms, and he has given me permission to share it. And you know the way schools are, children naturally, so don't encourage your children to be sarcastic and to be mocking people. Please stop it as if you are stopping a plague in your home where your children are being sarcastic, and don't be sarcastic in training them. Can't you see? It's not there, it's there. All those sarcasm, don't encourage it. So this boy was in school, my son was in school, and they were telling him, you don't talk, they can't hear what you are saying, blah blah. And the teacher, if you're a teacher here, hear me, you don't know how many lives you have destroyed because of your lifestyle and the things you say. And the teacher also told him and said, when you talk, we don't hear you. Try. And you can't talk, your words are not okay, just crushed him. I agree if they are saying it in school, my peers are saying it. I agree if my parents are saying it. My parents, my teacher, who are my role model? Who am I looking up to? He knew it. And thank God, those days, my children, they are always around me. I'm an ego. He just said, Mom, I was driving and he was behind in the car. He said, Mom. I said, yes, sir. He said, I'm not normal. I actually smashed my brake. I said, you are not normal. What happened? He said, my teacher says, and my friends are saying, when I talk, they don't hear me. I just looked at, I parked. I looked at him. I said, come, so I held him. I said, hear me. Tell them to listen very, very well. It's because they are not listening. That's why they are not hearing you. And great men stammers. I began to show him scriptures. I said, do you know that Bishop Oyedepo used to stammer? Do you know that Moses was a stammerer? I didn't even know how those words came. I just saw him blooming. He just started glowing. I saw his countenance changed. So that's my boy, give me 5. And that was the way I silenced the voice of intimidation and manipulation and truncating his destiny. I silenced it. Imagine if I was a toxic mother. I said, I told you, calm down to talk. You don't know how to talk. Keep quiet and talk gently. That's the end. He won't be who he is today. You don't know why people are on drugs. You don't know why they are becoming a prostitute. You don't even know. You need to hear people's story. Well, you'll be hearing my story, my reality on these programs. So you will know that nobody becomes bad in isolation. Something, somehow, parenting contributed to it. Oh God. You need to hear my story. Did I finish that my story? I didn't finish it. I'll be bringing it in gradually. I said it yesterday, I think. I was menstruating. I couldn't tell my mom. I said I sat on a stick that shook my bum. Bum. Imagine. So when I was in class 3, I got pregnant. I couldn't tell how to. The pregnancy was 7 months. 7 months pregnancy. My story, I'm telling you my own life story now. When I talk about toxic parenting, don't think what I'm sharing with you is not, I'm an institution in what I'm saying. Because I felt it, I touched it, I handled it. I lived the pain, I lived the shame, I lived the embarrassment in parenting. And because it's not her fault, she didn't know better. So I'm not blaming anybody here. I'm telling you, you can live a better life. Oh, you need to understand my heart. And my mother told me that my cousin should go and abort for me 7 months pregnancy. That was not an abortion, that was induction. Took me to a village, my story, my reality, and did an abortion for me. No, gave me pitocin for about 3 days. The baby came out as a boy. He was still breathing. My cousin led me to the toilet to flush that boy. I'm telling you my story. After flushing that boy, he turned and he started sleeping with me till I left that village. You are not telling me I'm bad. Why will I not be bad? The reason why I said that to you today was for you to know that the person that is toxic parenting you was also abused being parented. So you will check your life, check where you are coming from, check the way you were raised, and tell yourself, never, I will not repeat the pattern. Let me close with this. I didn't want to spend a longer time tonight. I want to rest. I've been busy all day. My head is hot. Maybe I'll be sharing it some other time. It's painful when you have to raise your children not appreciating what they are loaded with, what they came with. Loaded but wounded. Loaded but wounded. I became very bad. Look at me. I became extremely bad. I would smoke, I would drink. All over the place. I wish you understand where I'm coming from. So when you know, if you know where I'm coming from, then you understand my passion and my pain and the things that gets me worked up. Please, nobody forced you to bring those children to the world. Can you just do something about their lives? Don't raise them transferring aggression. Joseph told his dad. Do you know that Joseph wanted to pass it down unconsciously? He wanted to give it out. Pass the negativity down. They've been losing their firstborn from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. Joseph too brought his two boys, Manasseh and Ephraim. He said, Daddy bless them. He wanted to cross his hand. Joseph said, stop it. We are not perpetuating this madness in our family system. We are not. We are not going to continue the rubbish. He said, Daddy, don't cross your hand. Do you know how toxic parents are? The man still crossed his hand. I'm sure it's on his head. Why would my son talk to me like that? Why would I have to do what I have to do? At the expense of who? Come on, protect yourself and protect your future. Let anybody get angry. That's why I don't have all the time tonight. That's why, some of you will pack your children and say, go and live with my mother, go and live with my parents. And at what age? The mother that has labored and suffered and our bones are shaking, having raised her children, struggled to raise her children, you now dump those children with her. Why won't she be aggressive? Why won't she react to them? True. May you have wisdom to understand what I'm saying before it is too late. Thank you. I'm sure some people are angry, some people are happy, whatever it is. There's an adage that says that, please turn on the lights in your house. It's because of you. If armed robbers come, well, some of you are living in a country that is safe, but you still have to lit your house and lit your compound to have brightness like the day. So anything I'm saying to you is your life. Please join me again tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow is being sex-wise as parents. We're going to thank you. That one is even good. I don't know when I'm going to catch Prophet's attention. But he said it's coming, so I'm excited already. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Let me hear some. Let me know somebody heard me tonight. Some waves. Thank you for waving. Waving. Share your love. I'm expecting your love. Thank you. Thank you. I love you too. I love you too, everyone. Yes, I love you, everyone. Don't mind me. I'm not good in calling names and telling you I love you, but just know that I celebrate everyone that has joined me tonight. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.